The Samsung Odyssey G70A 28-inch 4K HDR400 Innolux IPS monitor on the PlayStation 5. Hi friends and welcome to Viktors Reality. Today I have Cold War with the PlayStation 5 on the Samsung Odyssey G70A 28-inch monitor, showcasing here 4K 120Hz with HDR on and off, showing you how versatile this monitor is with next generation consoles. And here I'm going to show you and give you my opinion on the presets with HDR on and off, of course showing you how awesome and smooth the gameplay is. So here with HDR on, I do have it on HDR dynamic. It is a set preset, and showcasing here how local dimming with off and on does show a bit more brightness with it on. Now, honestly, I am pleasantly surprised with HDR on this specific game. Here I'm on port 2, showing you 120Hz 4K HDR on. Again, I am pleasantly surprised. I know this is an HDR400 IPS monitor, and usually HDR400 is not really good, but what I'm seeing here gets the job done. As you can see, I do have IPS glow on the top left and right, but honestly, I am surprised. I have no complaints, and I didn't think I would ever say this. I do find HDR on this specific game on the PlayStation really doable. It really looks good. I can see many people playing it with it on. Now, if you do see a black crush, again, I am going to show you right here the picture presets. I did calibrate the camera better to show regular mode instead of HDR. So I do want to show here, it does look good. Now, with it being on HDR dynamic, it does have, with local dimming on, it does crush. It does look a little dark with the highlights, of course, popping up. It's probably the saturation that looks really good. But you'll see here when I turn it off how brighter the image is overall. But here with HDR400, the highlights are kicking in, and it looks really good. I have no complaints. The saturation with the color you can see, and the highlights. I'm telling you, this IPS panel is magic on the M28U, on the G70A, and equivalent monitors that have this IPS panel. I am pleasantly surprised on how good it looks. Now again, this is with HDR on, of course brightness at 100. Now I do have it with HDR dynamic as standard. Does not look good to me. And also to note, this is on AV preset. But with the 1.004.0 update on the Samsung Odyssey G70A, 4K signal is accepted, 120Hz plays smoothly, and everything looks great, especially in HDR. Now here, let's turn off HDR. I'm gonna do it with one take so you guys can see how everything looks. Look how brighter the picture looks. You can still see 4K 120Hz. Right here it shows all the frequencies, and in HDR mode how it supports it. And here you gotta make sure 120Hz is enabled, and to get that 120Hz you need to set it at performance mode. That will give you that option to switch to 120Hz mode. If you keep it on resolution, it will stick to 4K 60 and always prefer clarity over smoothness. And if you want that automatic feature, just switch it to performance and you'll be able to have 120Hz glory. Now you can see right away how the picture looked from HDR to HDR off. This is with HDR off. It goes back and reverts back to the previous preset I had it on. Look, I had it on sRGB as that's how I prefer to have it with my editing. But look how awesome Cinema preset looks. You really gotta see it in person. The camera can only do so much. I'm gonna put it back to my custom mode that I always have it on. Here showing you how I can control the black equalizer. Remember, the lower in number you go, the more you can see, but the less contrast you have, and the higher you go, the more contrast you have. And at 10 and 11 I think is perfect. I'm going to keep it here at 13 as I'm going to be trying out a couple of things with the camera, but I usually keep it at 10 to 11. So whatever you're seeing here, 10 to 11 looks perfect. Now let's see here with local dimming. As you can see, keeping it on does make the picture a one notch higher in brightness, especially with all this contrast going on. In HDR mode, it looked awesome and it looks good here. Hey, whatever gives me more brightness is what I'm always going to enable. But overall, the SDR picture to me gives me a brighter picture. I really like that a lot. And again, no complaints. PlayStation 5 is 100% awesome. 100% awesome on this monitor. Again, we will be doing versus videos against the M28U with all these features to show you what the differences are to help you make an awesome buying decision, as you don't want to spend money that you don't need to if you can get the same performance on a cheaper monitor. But I am in love with the G70A. I love the RGB in the front. You can see the light blue looks awesome. The more I'm using it, the more I'm liking it, and the more I do see it brighter and looking a lot nicer than my 32-inch G7 monitor. But that's just cosmetic RGB, personal preference. But you can see everything looks beautiful, and if you think this is a little bit too much crush with the black levels, you can always lower the black equalizer to 8 or 9, or if you want more contrast, keep it on cinema for that powerhouse in contrast or user mode like I do. Or if you want a toned down look, keep it on sRGB. I know many of you love sRGB neutrality, and it plays it really well. You saw when I just turned it on, it was on sRGB. So here friends, showing you 4K 120Hz with HDR on and off, and showing you a bit of the presets on SDR mode to show you how awesome this monitor is and how it works. Just make sure to update at least to the 1004.0 firmware update to get the consoles to play 4K 120Hz at no issues. Again, I have no issues on the Xbox Series X or PlayStation 5 and or on the PC. Everything works smoothly and perfect, and I'm sure you will love and enjoy this monitor. So friends, if you found this video helpful, please leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to turn on that notification bell so you never miss out on a future Samsung Odyssey G70A 4K IPS monitor video. I'll see you guys next time.